But as a coach of the home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side. I mean,
I don't give two shits.
How about one?
Not even one shit.
That's how Cheryl Reeve welcomed Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever in Minnesota. Now, to add more fuel to the fire, fans caught Reeve wearing a shirt that says "Black Girls Rock" during the game. And there was one time when she was promoting games on her X account, which seems pretty harmless at first look, but in the end, she would close things up with a hashtag, "The W is more than one player." I mean, if we just connect the dots here, we probably know now why Caitlin was left off the Team USA roster. Now, for those who are out of the loop, Reeve is also the head coach of Team USA, and based on her reaction earlier, it's pretty clear that she doesn't like Caitlin at all. But hey, despite the hellstorm of hate coming from Reeve, with the provoking t-shirt, nasty trash talk, and all that, at the back of my head, I knew Reeve was also like,
it was at this moment that she knew she f***ed up.
Because history tells us, and everyone knows that, it's never a good idea to mess with a girl, especially one named Caitlin Clark. The home team opened things up with a layup coming from a Caitlin turnover, then Aaliyah Boston answers right back with a short stab underneath.
Underneath to Boston, that was a nice look.
In the next possession, Caitlin starts to work, forcing her way inside for the tough bucket.
Clark takes it right to Courtney Williams.
Shortly after that, the Lynx tightened up their screws against Caitlin as she was held down to just 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting in the first quarter. But even though they handcuffed her offensively, the Lynx was still unable to prevent Caitlin from throwing sick dimes such as this one.
Perimeter on Caitlin, that is a tough pass. Somehow she got it in.
The first quarter ended with the Fever on top 20-19. However, things quickly shifted gears in the Lynx's favor in the second quarter as they rained down a couple of threes to keep the Fever at bay.
Carlton just needs that much room.
While the Lynx's shooters were all clicking, it was the Fever's bigs, like Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Smith, who kept them in the game by controlling the offensive boards while battling down low.
Was on her. Zandalicini draws out assignment and the inside finish.
With the Fever's front court dominating, the Lynx shifted their defensive attention down at the paint. And when that happened, Caitlin took advantage of it by splashing down this step-back three.
Finding her way, pushing in transition, leading her way, pulling up, and knocking down.
Then she followed it with an aggressive drive inside to tie things up 38 apiece.
In the studio.
What's up, Ari? Welcome to the studio, girl.
Caitlin off glass.
The game was deadlocked at 48 by halftime, and with Caitlin struggling offensively, it was Alyssa Smith and Aaliyah Boston who picked up the slack as they continued their dominance inside the paint.
The last game for both teams before the break. Alyssa Smith counted.
Alyssa Smith just a pump fake to set this all up. Oh, she can't argue that her hands are vertical. They're not vertical at all.
Today,
the Lynx would swing back, though, by hitting timely buckets to keep them in the lead. And as far as guarding Caitlin, they did a good job in roughing her up on a couple of possessions, to the point that she got teed up for unintentionally hitting Cecilia Zandalicini in the face because she was grabbing her arm first.
Now they see the turnover. Clark behind the back, and then Zandalicini grabbed her.
In transition, and then Clark's reaction, she grabs her and she flings that off arm.
Hostile act.
With the refs swallowing their whistles every time she gets obviously fouled, on top of the harassing defense played by the Lynx, Caitlin's frustration has clearly affected her game for the first 3 quarters, as she only scored 7 points in total. Anyway, down by 7 heading to the 4th, Caitlin knew that she had to get out of her shooting slump in order for them to win. And right on cue, the Beast suddenly awakened from her deep sleep out of nowhere. First, she knocked down this shot in the run with a hand on her face. Then moments later, she would put on a show in front of the Minnesota crowd as she put her defender in skates and broke her ankles with this nasty play.
Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
And as you can see, Reeve was clearly unhappy that Caitlin just did that, which was why she quickly called a timeout to gather her troops. After the timeout, it seems that Reeve's pep talk worked as Minnesota answers with a couple of triples to keep themselves within striking distance. But every time the Lynx would make a big-time bucket, it was Kelsey Mitchell who would always respond for the Fever on the other end.
Game, really, until she picked up that 4th foul.
Minnesota bouncing back on top. Kelsey Mitchell also heating up in the second
The
half.
high arcing from Kelsey.
Things don't go our way, like we still find a way to win, and I think just obviously.
With the game tied at 71 all, Caitlin lured the defense, coming off a flare screen. Then after attacking the closeout, she made the right read by dropping the ball to Boston, who then scored to give them a little bit of cushion.
Our teammates up for success, like put them in positions that they can be successful, and I think we've.
Though the Lynx scored a 3-ball to cut down the lead to 1, it was Kelsey Mitchell yet again saving the day for the Fever as she knocked the ball out of Smith's hands to seal the game for good.
The double. And now Smith has to go. What a play! Kelsey Mitchell!
The ball inbounds. I don't even know if Alana Smith saw her coming. And then Aaliyah Boston on a career rebounding performance night keeps this play alive. Clock is in favor of the Fever.
The final score reads 81-74, with Mitchell leading the pack with 21 points, followed by Aaliyah Boston's double-double of 17 points and 16 rebounds. And though Caitlin struggled in the first 3 quarters, she redeemed herself by scoring 10 points in the fourth to finish the game with a solid all-around performance of 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, along with 2 steals.
Even when we get down and things don't go our way, like we still find a way to win, and but I think just obviously you can start to tell like we're just getting more comfortable overall playing with each other, our chemistry, we know where our teammates are going to be, and then also just setting our teammates up for success, like put them in positions that they can be successful in. I think we've done a better job of that.
After circling this matchup in the calendar for weeks now, Caitlin finally has her revenge against the coach who despises her for the simple reason that she's great and fans absolutely love her. Now, during the post-game interview, it seems that Coach Reeve has been grounded once and for all and has no choice but to recognize Caitlin's greatness and the impact that she brings to the league.
Everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town. Angel Reese has impacted their attendance at the Chicago games, I suspect on the road as well. So what the league can do is be ready to capitalize on the moments. But it's much like when we saw Bird and Magic come in the league, right? That the league has been building, for a watershed moment, and we're here, and now you got to take advantage of it.
So after her petty beef with Caitlin has been finally squashed, do you guys think that Coach Reeve will now pick Caitlin to be part of the Team USA roster as a substitute for the injured Diana Taurasi? Well, share with me your thoughts on this one in the comment section. And as always, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel so you'll be in the loop when the next video drops. Anyway, until then, thanks for watching and see you guys next time.